Hello dear students, today I will discuss part 7 of unit 6 P block elements. Dear students, I hope that you are healthy, safe and involved in continuous learning process. Now dear students, in previous lecture I told you about the chemical properties of group 16 elements, that is formation of oxide, formation of hydride, formation of halide. In that formation I also told you about properties of oxide, hydrides and halides. I also told you about the stability of oxidation state down the group, that is the stability of +4 oxidation state down the group increases but +6 oxidation state decreases. This is due to again here inert pair effect. I also told you about the hydrides and their properties, that is water is in liquid form but other hydrides are in gas form. This is due to our important bonding, that is hydrogen bonding. I also told you about the halides, that is oxygen form dihalides but not can form tetra or hexahalides. This is due to absence of d orbitals. I also told you about the hexahalides, that among hexahalides only hexafluorides are stable. So one question I also given to you, that HCl6 is not known but SF6 it can be formed. So this is due to more electronegativity of fluorine which can oxidize sulfur up to +6. I also told you about the oxidizing and reducing property, that is SO2 behave as a strong reducing agent because sulfur is stable in +6 oxidation state due to inert pair effect. So these all about the chemical properties of group 16 elements. So now dear students, after studying part 7 you will be able to know about anomalous behavior of oxygen, that is abnormal behavior of oxygen from rest of the member. Then you will be able to explain about the dioxygen, that is O2, its preparation, properties and usage. Then you are able to know about the classification of oxides and their general properties. Oxides may be simple oxide, complex oxide, superoxide, peroxide. So this type of oxide you have to know in this lecture. Then you will be able to explain about the ozone, that is also known as trioxygen, its preparation, properties and usage. So this lecture cover all these topics. So now dear students, let us start from anomalous behavior of oxygen. This is also known as abnormal property of oxygen. So first of all you have to know that why the property of oxygen are different from rest of the member of group 16. So the basic reason is due to the anomalous behavior of oxygen is due to its small size than the rest of the member, high electronegativity and also due to absence of d orbital in their valence shell. So due to this property, this I also told you so many times, the first member of group 15 elements are differ from rest of the member due to small size, high electronegativity, high ionization enthalpy, absence of d orbitals. Here also oxygen differ from rest of the members from these properties due to the reason small size, high electronegativity and absence of d orbitals. So now look here some property which are differ from rest of the member. Here some examples are given. So first, the presence of strong hydrogen bonding in case of water, due to which water belong to liquid state which is not found in H2S. Now This is due to small size and high electronegativity of oxygen. So one more question may be arises कि why the hydrogen bonding is formed in case of water but not in case of H2S. So your answer is due to small size and high electronegativity of oxygen. This can be happen. Then one more question, if water have hydrogen bonding, this is again due to small size and electronegativity, and due to which the water have high boiling points. Then the absence of d orbitals in oxygen limits its covalency to 4, but in practice rarely exceed 2. So that is, oxygen do not form 6 bond or 4 bond. This is due to absence of d orbital. On the other end, that is in other case, that is in rest of the member, in other elements of the group, the valence shell can be expanded and covalence exceed to 4. That means sulfur can form 6 bond. So this is due to presence of d orbital. But this not happen with the oxygen. This is due to absence of d orbital. Now some more property, that is point of difference from the rest of the member. Oxygen due to high electronegativity is non-metallic. So this is one more property which differ from rest of the member. Oxygen molecules is highly unstable. This is due to the two atoms are held together by multiple bond. Now this happen due to small size. Then you know that hydrogen bonding is present in case of water. This is also due to high electronegativity of oxygen, and that's why water boils at higher temperature. Some more property, that is the metal like copper, oxygen, Hg show lesser affinity with the O2, that is oxygen. This is due to formation of oxide is less than with the sulfur to form sulfide. Again here the reason is small size of oxygen in comparison to large size of sulfur. So due to this reason, the polarizing power of copper 2 plus, Ag plus, Hg2 plus ions, owing to which they form a strong bond with sulfur 2 minus. This is due to, again you can know from the Fajan rule. So these are some property which differ from rest of the member by oxygen. Now dear student, about dioxygen. The name oxygen is came from two words, that is oxus and genus. Here oxus means acid and genus means maker. So according to Lavoisier, oxygen is an essential component of all acid. That's why it is named as oxygen. Some more name are given to the oxygen, that is vital air or fire air. So this I also told you that oxygen is vital, that is essential for survival of life. That's why it is known as vital air. It is also known as fire air. This I also told you that oxygen is supporter of fire. So that's why it is known as fire air. Now some more points about dioxygen. So 46.5% by mass in the earth crust is oxygen. That is, oxygen is most abundant element in the earth crust, and by volume is 21% in air, and by mass 23% in air. So these are percentage of oxygen. Now it was discovered by Carl Seeley and Joseph Priestley. Now dear students, some more point you have to know about the dioxygen, that is it occurs in three isotopic form. These isotopic forms are given here: O16, O17, O18. Out of these, O16 abundance is 99.76% and O17 abundance is 0.037%, and the abundance of O18 is 204%, and out of these 3 isotopes, O18 is radioactive. That means it is unstable isotope of oxygen. Now dear students, about the preparation of oxygen, the dioxygen. So first of all, a dioxygen can be obtained in the laboratory by the following way. First, by heating oxygen containing salt such as chlorates, nitrates and permanganates, which are given here. 2 KClO3, this will gives KCl plus O2. Here KClO3 is known as potassium chlorate. Now dear students, this potassium chlorates are heated in presence of MnO2. Here MnO2 work as catalyst which lower the temperature for decomposition of KClO3 from 670 to 720 to 420. That is, the temperature lower from nearly 670 to 420, which is due to presence of MnO2 which work as catalyst. Then when nitrates are heated, this will also gives O2 gas like this, PbNO3 का whole twice. This will gives PbO plus NO2 and plus O2. Here again NO2 is a brown color gas. So second method of preparation, by the thermal decomposition of oxides of metal low in electrochemical series. That means less electropositive metal and higher oxides of some metal. So look the reaction. Ag2O, which is unstable, when heated liberate O2 gas like this. Then HgO, this is also unstable, and when heated this also liberate O2 gas. So like this you can write the reactions: HgO plus 2HgO plus 2Hg plus O2 gas. O2 can also be prepared by the action of water on sodium peroxide as given here. 2Na2O2 plus 2 water, this will gives 4NaOH and liberate O2 gas. Now dear students, in industry you can prepare oxygen gas by electrolysis of acidic or alkaline water or fractional distillation of liquid air. So these are some method or preparation which you have to know for examination point of view. Now dear students, properties of dioxygen. So first of all you have to know about the solubility. So its solubility in water is to the extent of 3.08 centimeter cube in 100 ml of water at 293 Kelvin. This solubility falls to the below 2.0 centimeter cube in sea water, which is just sufficient for the survival support of, that is vital support of, marine and aquatic lives. Then dioxygen is colorless, odorless and tasteless gas. It is not combustible but a supporter of combustion. Then O2 is unique in being paramagnetic in spite of having even number of electron. This is due to, according to MOT, the O2 is paramagnetic due to presence of 2 unpaired electrons in anti-bonding pi star orbitals. So that's why oxygen have dilemma. It is paramagnetic or diamagnetic, but MOT proved that it is a paramagnetic. Now dear students, oxygen is being non-polar, it is soluble in alkaline pyrrolylal. The chemical name of, that is IUPAC name of this chemical is benzene 1,2,3 triol. That is a ring containing OH at 1 number, 2 number, 3 number position is known as alkaline pyrrolylal. So this chemical dissolve oxygen. Now some more property. You have to know that oxygen directly react with the nearly all metals and non-metals except some metals which are noble, that is gold, platinum, and some noble gases. Its combination with the other elements is often strongly exothermic, which help in sustaining the reaction. That means when oxygen combined with the chemical, that is with the elements, so the reaction is highly exothermic. Some compounds are catalytically oxidized. Here some examples are given here. SO2 are oxidized by O2, given SO3. This reaction is used in contact process for manufacture of sulfuric acid. One more process where the oxygen is used, that is 4HCl plus O2. This will liberate 2Cl2 in presence of copper chloride catalyst and plus 2 water. This is known as Dickens process for preparation of chlorine gas. As I told you that the reaction of oxygen with other element is strongly exothermic, but it also needed some initiation. That is, to initiate the reaction, some external heating is required, because the bond dissociation enthalpy of oxygen-oxygen double bond is very high, that is 493.4 kilojoule per mole. Oxygen can also react with non-metals such as carbon, phosphorus. When it reacts with the carbon, it produces CO2 gas, and when react with the P4, that is phosphorus plus 5O2, it will gives P4O10. So these are some properties of dioxygen which you have to know for your board examination. Now dear students, about the use of dioxygen. So as I told you so many times that oxygen is also required for breathing, that is artificial respiration. In that case, dioxygen mixed with helium or carbon dioxide is used for artificial respiration. Liquid oxygen is also an important constituent of fuels used in the rocket. Oxygen is also used in oxyacetylene welding, in the manufacture of many metals, particularly steel. Now you know that in the present situation, that is in that condition where we are facing the problem of COVID-19, and you so many times listen that oxygen cylinders are required. So you know that oxygen cylinders are widely used in the hospital in that condition, and also used as high altitude flyings and in case of mountaineers. Oxygen is also used for combustion of fuels. You know that, for example, hydrogen in liquid oxygen provide tremendous thrust in case of rocket. O18, that is isotopes of oxygen, is used as tracer in the study of reaction mechanism. Dioxygen is also used as an oxidizing agent in several reactions. Liquid dioxygen mixed with finely divided carbon act as dynamite in coal minings. So these are some use of dioxygen. Now dear students, classification of oxides and their general properties. So first of all, you have to know that about the binary compound of oxide. So here a binary compound of oxygen with another element is called oxide. Dioxygen react with practically all elements to form oxide. The reactions are usually exothermic and once started often continue spontaneously. Now, dear students, these are general points you have to know about the oxides. Now, dear students, again, the oxides can be classified on the basis of acid-base nature. So, like first, acidic oxide, as the name indicates, the oxides is acidic in nature, and these oxides are found by non-metal. So, here non-metallic oxides are basically acid in nature. The aqueous solution are acid. It neutralizes the base to form salt. Here some examples are given: SO2, CO2, N2O5, Cl2, O7, P4O10, NO2, P4O6, I2O5. So these are basically acidic oxide. Now look the reaction. How can you identify the given oxide is acid? So take the oxide and dissolve in water. If it form acid, so that's why the oxide is acidic in nature. One more thing you have to know, that the non-metal oxide, here the sulfur is non-metal, and the oxide formed by the sulfur is also here non-metallic, and that's why it is a acidic in nature. Here chromium oxide is given plus water, it will also gives an acid. So one more thing you have to know, that the metals in their higher oxidation state also work as acidic in nature. This is due to according to Fajan rule. This I told you that according to Fajan rules, higher the charge on central atom, more will be the power of polarization and more will be the formation of covalent characters, and the covalent characters indicate the acidic property. So here chromium is lie in the +6 state, that is the maximum oxidation state. So that's why the oxide formed by chromium is acidic in nature. Now, dear students, oxides of some metal such as MnO2, Mn2O7, CrO3, V2O5 in high oxidation state also have acidic characters. Just I told you about this. Now, dear students, some of the oxides form two oxo acid. These are called mixed anhydride. So look here example: 2NO2 plus water. This will gives 2 acid, HNO2 plus HNO3. So that's why the NO2 is known as mixed anhydride. Again, anhydride means the acid minus water will gives anhydride. One more examples you can learn, that P4O8 plus 6 water. This will gives 2S3PO3 plus 2S3PO4. These two type of acid are formed. So that's why P4O8 is also known as mixed anhydride. So now, dear students, these all about the acidic oxides. Now basic oxides. As you know that the metal form basic oxide, the metallic oxides is known as basic oxide. Their aqueous solutions are alkali and neutralize acid to form salt. Here some examples are given: the metallic oxide, that is Na2O, K2O, CaO. These are basically belong to the basic oxide. Here look the some reactions: oxides plus water, this will gives alkali. One example is given: Na2O plus H2O. This will gives 2NaOH. So like this you can found that the basic nature of given oxide. That means take the oxides and add water. If it will form base, so the oxide is basic in nature. Now, dear students, about the amphoteric oxides. So look at here about the amphoteric oxide. Some metallic oxides exhibit a dual behavior, that means behave as acid and behave as base. So these oxides are known as amphoteric oxides. This neutralize both acid and base to form salt. Here examples are given: Al2O3, SbO2, SNO, zinc oxide, PbO, BeO, PbO2. Here zinc oxide is came in solid state, where you learn that metal excess defect due to extra cation at interstitial site. So look the reactions to show that the amphoteric nature of oxide 3Al2O3 plus 6HCl, this will gives 2AlCl3 in aqueous solution plus 3 water. So here the oxide react with acid, that's why it will show here basic nature. Now 3Al2O3 plus 6NaOH plus 3 water, this will gives Na3AlOH का whole 6. This indicate that here Al2O3 work as acidic in nature. So that's why Al2O3 behave as amphoteric oxide. This type of oxide you have to know that acidic oxide, basic oxide and amphoteric oxide. Nowadays students, neutral oxide, as the name indicate, they neither combine with acid, neither combine with base to form salt. So here oxide plus acid, no reaction. Oxide plus base, no reaction. Here examples are CO, H2O, N2O, NO. Out of this, the most common neutral oxide is water, which work as solvent for us. We also use at drinking purpose. You know that. So water is also a neutral oxide. Now students, some notable points are given here. If an element exists in several oxidation state, then generally lower one are basic and higher one are acidic in nature according to Fajan rules. That is, you can also apply the Fajan rules. So look here, PbO more basic because Pb contains plus 2 charge, but PbO2 is less basic, that is more acidic due to presence of 4 charge, that is 4 plus charge on Pb. Similarly, chromium CrO is basic due to presence of plus 2 charge, but Cr2O3 behave as amphoteric due to presence of plus 4 charge, but CrO3 is acidic due to presence of plus 6, that is high charge on chromium. So according to Fajan rules, more the charge on central atom, more will be the covalent property, and hence more will be the acidic nature. So like this, you can also find the acidic basic behavior for metal also. So in general, the non-metallic oxides are basically acidic and metallic oxides are basically basic. But in some condition, metal oxide are also behave as acidic nature. This is due to Fajan rule. Nowadays students, oxides can be classified on the basis of geometric structure also. So first, that means on the basis of geometry, you can also define the oxides. So first of all, you have to know the normal oxide. So these oxides contain atoms according to the normal oxidation number, that is -2. So the only MO bond are present there, for example MgO, water, CaO, Li2O, Al2O3. In these case, the oxides contains, that is oxygen contains -2 charge. So these are normal oxides, and most of the compound of oxygen behave as normal oxide. Now compound or mixed oxide. So the oxide behave as mixture of two simple oxide. Look here, Pb3O4, it is also known as red lead. Sindoor, this contains two type of oxide, PbO plus Pb2O3. So this is a mixture of oxide. So that's why Pb3O4 is known as mixed oxide. Then Fe3O4, this also contains Fe3 plus Fe2O plus Fe2O3. So that's why this is also a type of mixed oxide, and the name of Fe3O4 is magnetite. It is an ore of iron. So nowadays students, the next oxide is peroxide on the basis of geometry. So these oxide contains O2 2 minus ions having the oxidation number of oxygen as -1. Here some common examples are given: H2O2 hydrogen peroxide, Na2O2 sodium peroxide, BaO2 barium peroxide, PbO2 lead peroxide. That means the oxygen having -1 charge is belong to the peroxide. Nowadays students, you can also find about the peroxide. When peroxide are treated with dilute acid, it produce H2O2. So by this way you can also find that the given oxide is peroxide. And one more way, you have to find the charge on oxygen. If the charge on oxygen is -1, so this belong to the peroxide. Nowadays students, about superoxide, this contains O2 minus ion having the oxidation number of oxygen H -half. That means the oxygen containing -half charge is known as superoxide. Some common examples are given here. For example, KO2, etc. These react with water and give hydrogen peroxide and oxygen. So look the reactions: 2KO2 plus 2 water, this will gives 2KOH plus H2O2 plus O2. So by this way you can find that the given oxide is superoxide. So again, peroxide contains -1 charge on oxygen and superoxide contains -half charge on oxygen atom. Nowadays students, one more important compounds that you have to know, that ozone, it is also known as trioxygen. About ozone, you have to know some important points, that is ozone is an allotropic form of oxygen. It is too reactive to remain in the atmosphere for long time, and at a height of about 20 kilometers it is formed from the atmospheric oxygen in presence of sunlight. Some more points you have to note it down, that the ozone layer protect the earth's surface from the excessive concentration of ultraviolet radiation which causes skin cancer. Then you have to note it down that in 1866 Soret, in name of scientist, established its formula O3 and pointed out that ozone is an allotrope of oxygen. Nowadays students, you have to know about the preparation of ozone. The ozone is prepared by subjecting cold dry oxygen to silent electric discharge. Here silent means sparkless. Now look the reactions: 3O2 gives 2O3. The delta H naught for formation is plus 142 kilojoule per mole. This indicate the reaction is endothermic. One more point you have to note it down, that here the entropy decreases before the reaction, that is 3 molecule of oxygen in the form of gas, but after the reaction 2 molecule of gas are produced. So number of gases decreases, that's why entropy decreases, and hence according to thermodynamics law, delta G equal to delta H minus T delta S. So that's why here delta H is positive and delta S is negative. So that's why the delta G value is positive, and this indicates the non-spontaneous reaction of formation of ozone like this. Nowadays students, this can only happen at low temperature. Now for the better yield of ozone, some conditions are given here. Condition number 1, only pure and dry oxygen should be used. Second, the ozonizer must be perfectly dry. Then a fairly low temperature, that is nearly 273 Kelvin, must be maintained. Otherwise the reaction should be non-spontaneous. Then the electric discharge must be sparkless, that means no loss of energy can take place. So these are the conditions for the formation of ozone. Nowadays students, you have to know about the properties of ozone. So ozone, that is in pure ozone, is pale blue gas, dark blue liquid and violet black solid. This is due to the excitation of electron. After getting the radiation, the color will be changed according to the state of matter. Ozone is also diamagnetic in nature and toxic gas. When inhaled in a small amount, it causes headache and nausea. This is the property of ozone. Some more property you have to note it down about ozone, that if the concentration of ozone rises above about 100 parts per million, breathing become difficult and the person feel uncomfortable. Nowadays students, you have to know about the chemical property of ozone. So look here, the first property, decomposition. This I told you. Again here discuss. Ozone is thermodynamically unstable with respect to oxygen, since its decomposition into oxygen result in the liberation of heat, that delta H is negative when the ozone is decomposed, and an increase in entropy, that is delta S is positive, take place. These two effects reinforce each other, resulting in the large negative Gibbs energy change, that is delta G become negative for its conversion into oxygen. So that's why ozone easily converted into oxygen due to thermodynamics point of view. Now dear students, second property, that is the oxidizing agent. So due to ease with which it liberates atoms of nascent oxygen, that is newborn oxygen, it acts as powerful oxidizing agent. Now dear students, some more point you have to note it down, that it is second only to F2, which are more strong oxidizing agent even than oxygen also. Look here, some conditions. The oxidation potential in acidic medium is plus 2.07 volt. That means O3 in presence of acid break like this: O3 plus 2H plus 2 electrons break into O2 plus water. Here the inert value is plus 2.07, and this I told you in the electrochemistry, that the more the positive inert value, stronger will be the oxidizing agent. Look the reactivity of O2 in presence of acid, O2 plus 4H plus 4 electrons, this will also produce water, but the inert value is plus 1.23, which is more or less than ozone. That's why ozone is better oxidizing agent than oxygen in acidic medium. Some more point you have to note down, that it is only 3 more substances which have reduction potentials higher than plus 2.07 volt. These are fluorine, atomic oxygen, and oxygen difluoride. So due to high value of reduction potential, ozone are better act as oxidizing agent. Now here some examples are given which show the oxidizing nature of ozone. The example, look the example, it oxidizes lead sulfide to lead sulfate and iodide ions into iodine. These both oxidizing reactions are very much important for examination point of view. PBS is found in the lead painting. So many times you've seen that the lead painting becomes black. So that's why it can be oxidized by the presence of O3 ozone. Now the reactions, PBS is a black plus 4O3, this will produce PbSO4, that is the white, and plus 4O2. So here O3 break like this, O3 change into O2 plus 1O, that is 1 nascent oxygen. So that's why this reaction needed 4 molecule of O3 so that the 4 nascent oxygen oxidize PbS. The next reaction, 2I minus plus H2O plus O3, this will gives 2KOH plus I2 plus O2. Here one more point you have to note it down, that here I minus change into I2, that means the charge on I is minus 1 and the charge on I2 is 0. O3 act as better oxidizing agent for this reaction. This reaction can be also written as 2Ki plus water plus O3. This will give 2KOH plus I2 plus O2. So these two reactions are more important for examination point of view. Now one more thing you have to note it down, that Hg mercury loses its fluidity, that is tailing of mercury take place in presence of O3, that is 2Hg plus O3, This will gives Hg2O plus O2. Now some noteworthy point here. During this reaction, mercury loses its meniscus and start sticking to the side of the glass. This is known as tailing of the mercury. Here mercury oxide formed in this reaction dissolve in the mercury and start sticking to the glass surface. So this reactions H indicate the tailing of mercury. This is also important reaction for examination point of view. Now dear students, bleaching agents, due to here bleaching means to remove the color. So due to oxidizing action of ozone, it is also work as permanent bleaching agent. It act as mild bleaching agents as well as sterilizing agents. Here sterilizing agents means the purification of water is also take place by ozone. Ozone due to liberation of nascent oxygen kill the bacteria present in the water. That's why sterilize the water. It act as bleaching agent for vegetable coloring matters, that is the coloring matters plus O3. Now the matter become colorless, and this is the permanent bleaching due to presence of oxygen. Now dear students, quantitative estimation of O3. When ozone react with an excess of potassium iodide, solution buffered with borate solution. Here buffer means the chemical which resists the change of pH is known as buffer solution. So here buffered with borate solution. The buffer pH is 9.2. Iodine is liberated, which can be titrated against a standard solution of sodium thiosulfate. This is a quantitative method for estimation of O3 gas. Now look the reaction. This reaction is also most important for examination point of view. 2I minus plus O2 plus O3. This will give 2OH minus plus I2 plus O2. This I told you before. Now next 2Na2 H2O3. This is known as sodium hypochloride hyposulfate. That's why also known as hypo. This is also known as sodium thiosulfate plus I2. This will give sodium tetrathionate, that is Na2S4O6 plus 2NaI. So these indicate the quantitative estimation of O3. So by this way you can find the amount of O3. Now dear students, you have to know about the some noteworthy points related to the ozone. First, 3SO2 plus O3 react, it would gives 3SO3. In this reactions, whole the O3 is consumed. So maybe one question is arises, you write the reactions in which all the O3 can be consumed. You write this reaction. Then ozone is heavier than air and is slightly soluble in water, but more soluble in terpenes, glacial acetic acid and CCl4 due to non-polar nature of ozone. This I also told you in chapter 2 solution, that solubility depend upon nature of interaction. If the nature of interaction are same, so the substance are soluble, that is polar solvent dissolve in the polar solute dissolve in the polar solvent and non-polar solute dissolve in the non-polar solvent. Now the students, structure of ozone, look at here. Here the resonance structure and their hybrids are drawn here. The two oxygen atom bond length in ozone molecules are identical, that is 128 picometer, and the molecule is angular as expected with the bond angle of about 117 degree. So this is due to resonance. The bond length of O bond is equal. This is due to also partial double bond character due to resonance. That is the resonance hybrid of two main form that are given here. So look the diagram. This is also important for board examinations. The shape is angular due to presence of one lone pair, and the hybridization of central atom of oxygen in ozone is sp2. Now the students, next we have to know about the use of the use of ozone. So ozone, as you know that, form the protective layers of the atmosphere. It is also used as disinfectant and germicide in the purification of drinking water. It is also used for purification of air in hospital, railway tunnel, cinema house, and for destroying disagreeable smell in the slaughter's house. Ozone is also used for bleaching of delicate articles, fabrics, oils, starch, etc. It is also used an oxidizing agent. In industry, it is used for oxidation of fatty acid and K2MnO4. Ozone is also used for ozonolysis of alkene. So these are some use of ozone. So nowadays students, are you getting this point? You have to focus on this video and try to understand the topic taught here. Nowadays students, some workout examples are given here to explain the lecture in better way. First, which of the following does not react with oxygen directly? So here 4 elements are given here: zinc, titanium, platinum and iron. So your answer is platinum. This I told you that platinum noble metals, and one more reason is because of its 4 ionization potential is very high. So this is not possible to react with oxygen. Now second question, complete the following reactions. C2H4 plus O2, this will gives what? Al2 Al plus 3O2 will gives what? So as you know that the carbon compounds when oxidized completely produce CO2 and water. So you can write the reaction like this and balance it. Now Al is metals, it react with oxygen and produce oxide. This oxide is basically amphoteric. This also I told you. So like this way you can write the answer. Nowadays students, third question, why is OO bond length in ozone, that is 1.28 angstrom, more than O2, that is 1.21 angstrom? So this I also told you that ozone has 2 resonance form like this. So the molecular structure of O3 in bent with an O bond O having the bond angle approximately 120 degree, that is basically 117 degree. The pi bond is here in ozone delocalized over the entire molecules. Neither individual O bond is a full bond, double bond characters. So the observed O bond distance of 1.28 angstrom is greater than 1.21 angstrom distance in O2, which has a full OO double bond. So that's why, so due to partial double bond characters between 3 molecules of O, the bond length is more than O2. So these answers you can write in this way. Number 4, ozone layer acts as an umbrella for the earth against the harmful radiation from sun. Why? So this type of questions you have to answer given like this. Ozone possesses the tendency to absorb ultraviolet rays of sunlight, and thus ozone layer acts as a screen and hence prevent the harmful radiation from reaching the surface of the earth. So that's why ozone layer acts as umbrella for the earth against the harmful radiation from sun. Now students, question number 5, ozone is used in improving the atmosphere of crowded place such as cinema hall, tube, railways, etc. Why? So now your answer is this. I told you also that ozone easily decompose to give O2 and thus improve the percentage of oxygen at crowded place. So that's why this can be used in that type of places. Nowadays students, why does O3 act as powerful oxidizing agent? That is because it has low bond dissociation enthalpy, that is bond dissociation energy. It is more reactive, therefore it liberates nascent oxygen easily, and hence work as powerful oxidizing agent. So lastly, again, same thing. Do all work in classwork copy. Prepared a note with the help of PPT video. Stay safe, stay healthy, and keep learning. Thank you, dear students.